So have you ever wondered how often should you email the leads that you have in your business? Is it once a week, once every few weeks, once a month, or maybe once a year, right? So what is the right amount that you should be emailing your leads so that you can get the best results? And by the best results, I mean getting these leads to actually convert into paying clients and take them from someone that's a lead to actually someone that's a paying customer and client. So that's really the goal when you're doing any sort of email marketing. You're not just emailing them for the sake of emailing them something, right? You know the goal is bigger than that. The goal is to build up trust, provide more value, build up a stronger relationship with them, and for them to actually become your clients. So one of the questions I get asked all the time is, how often should I email these people, right? If I email them too often, won't they get annoyed? Or if I don't email them at all, won't they just forget about who it is that I am and what it is that I do? And yes, that's true for both of those cases. There is a point where you can actually email people in your list too much, and there's a point where you can email people in your list too little, and then they just forget about who you actually are. So you want to get the right balance. So what I recommend to you and to all of my clients as well when it comes to emailing them the leads is I recommend that you do two things. The first thing is that when you generate a lead for the first time, I recommend you set up an automatic email sequence. So that's a sequence of emails that get sent to them as soon as they become a lead. And that happens automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Now, when it comes to creating that automatic sequence, you can actually send them those emails, which could be between 1 to maybe 5 to maybe even 10 emails within that original sequence. There's not a hard rule for this. It really just depends on, what kind of things you're going to be following up with them. But ultimately, in that initial email sequence, you can actually email them a little bit more often. So in one of the sequences I actually recently created for my own business, I have an initial email that gets sent out to people straight away. Then 2 days later, they get another email. Then 3 days later, they get another email. Then 5 days later, they get another email. So it's like 3 or 4 different emails that they'll get from me in a sequence automatically. And then after you've finished the automatic email sequence, what you then want to do is take them into your email database, where you then send them your latest and your best content. And once they've already gone through the automatic email sequence, you want to be sending them your latest and your best content as a minimum every single month. And ideally, in like the best case scenario, you want to be doing it every week. Now, when it comes to actually emailing people, the ones that are your leads and those on your email list, you might be wondering about, what do I actually say? So that's why if you have content that you can actually share with them, like really good, valuable content, that gives you a really good reason to email your list. So you're not just emailing those on your business list just for the sake of emailing them to stay in touch or to see how things are going or anything like that. You're actually emailing them because you want to provide value to them, you want to help them, and you're sharing them your latest and best content. So your content could be a video. So I could email this video to people on my list. It could be a blog post. It could be a podcast. It could be, an interview. It could be an event and a webinar. There's so many different types of content that you can produce and that you can actually share with those in your email list. But the important thing is that you provide those on your email list with good quality content, right? Content that's actually going to provide value. So that's the first thing that you want to do, is you want to have that email sequence, and then you want to email people on your list at least once a month, or at least in a best case scenario, once a week if you can. But if you can't do once a week because you don't have enough content to email them once a week, then at least once a month. That's definitely going to be better than nothing. Now, the second thing you want to think about when you're emailing people on your list is, what kind of emails do you send these people? Now, I already touched on providing emails that give them value, right? So things like content and videos and blogs and webinars and all that kind of stuff that provides a lot of value to people. But there's also another side of email marketing that quite frankly is actually quite underused. And that side of email marketing is actually to do with sending out promotional emails. And if you're not sending out any promotional emails at all to your list, and letting them actually know how they can buy from you and what they can do to take that next step to actually work with you, again, you're actually probably missing out on a lot of potential revenue that your business could be making. And sometimes people feel scared to email people on their list if they're sending them something promotional. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, you have a business, right? And that business needs to make money, it needs customers, it needs clients. Otherwise, you won't have a business anymore. So don't be afraid of sending out any promotional emails to people. But again, you have to do it in the right way. So if you're already doing what I said in the first step and you're sending out people, really good value, and you're sending them your content and you're building up that trust, then that puts you in a position to actually send them more content where they can actually buy your service or learn more about buying your service or whatever that next step would be, so they actually become a client. And if you're sending out maybe 3 or 4 emails that provide a lot of good value to them, then on the 5th email, you can actually send them something more promotional. And people will actually be fine with that because they know they've already got a lot of value from you already. And now that they've already got a lot of value from you, they understand that you're a business, and they know that at the end of the day, you are actually trying to sell them something. So you want to help them, you want to provide value, and you do that anyway, but you still have a business, okay? And people will understand that. The only time it becomes dangerous is that's when you're just emailing people on your email list promotional stuff like all the time. That's where it can get a little bit, annoying to people if that's all they ever hear, because there's no value in that. But as long as you provide the value first, then don't worry about sending out any promotional emails every so often to those on your list as well. So when it comes to how often should you send those promotional emails, again, just keep in mind that principle. So you want to have maybe 3 or 4 emails providing good value first, and then you can send them one email that's a little bit more promotional. Okay, and just one more bonus tip on this, sending this thing about sending out promotional emails and stuff like that. What I recommend is that you get people to take another step in order to sort of pre-qualify them to see if they're really interested in what it is that you do. So if you want someone to sign up to one of your services, rather than say click here to buy this now, you can actually say click here to watch a video to learn more about how this works, or click here to schedule a meeting with me to learn more about how this could work for you and for your business, or whatever it is that you're looking to do. So if you actually give people the chance to sort of learn a little bit more about what it is that you do before they actually buy, that's going to help your conversions and help you actually get more sales anyway. And then people can make that choice if they want to learn more about you or not. But at least give people the option, because a lot of the time businesses are scared to actually sell to people just because they don't want to annoy people or anything like that. But you do have a business at the end of the day. So if you do it the right way, if you provide value first and sell to them second, then you're going to be absolutely fine. And you'll actually grow your business as a result of doing that. So that's my tips on how often should you email your leads in your business, and what kind of things should you actually say to those that you email, and how often should you be promotional and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps. And if you do have any more questions about social media, marketing, lead generation, or converting those leads into paying clients, just leave a comment or send me an email or reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to answer that question in a future video.